Queues outside petrol stations and outside banks. Residents of Lagos wait for hours to get cash or fuel, but neither are guaranteed. Ahead of the elections, Nigeria's economy is facing two major crises. The first, a cash shortage sparked by the replacement of paper notes with newly redesigned ones as the nation hopes to curb money laundering. In spite of a January 31st deadline, banks don't have enough new currency to swap for the old notes which residents are handing in. A crisis which has left people cashless and has forced businesses to close.
The ATMs are not working. Even when you walk into the bank, they will tell you they are not giving that money, that they don't have the cash. I mean the new notes. So it seems as if this is the only bank that is dispensing money.
The deadline for handing in old notes has been pushed back to February 10th. Petrol shortages are also plaguing the country. Nigeria is Africa's biggest crude producer, yet relies on oil imports to meet local demand due to refineries operating below their capacity. Outside this petrol station, frustrated drivers get into a fight as they wait the entire day with no certainty of getting fuel.
This is what we see every day, and I have to bring my children to school here every day, and this is what happens.
You know, Africa is the only continent where they will implement a policy without putting in place the necessary structures to support that policy. They will say, we want everyone to exchange their old banknotes into the new one without putting in place the new banknotes, as you can see in Nigeria. When they decided to change their banknotes and put in place a new one, they had a deadline that everyone was supposed to follow. But they forget to put enough banknotes in circulation. And now people are running helter-skelter to get their banknotes exchanged. But there seems to be limited new banknotes available. You know, most countries will make sure that the infrastructure is in place to support their policy. When they come out with a policy, they will also make sure that the necessary infrastructure is in place that support this policy. But it's quite different in Africa, you know, it's quite different. Like I said it many times, right? Everything works so well in other places, but when it gets to Africa, it's totally different. It's true because, take for example, right? Nigeria is the fifth crude oil producer in the world and the first in Africa, right? Nigeria is the biggest economy in Africa. Nigeria is the most populated country in Africa. But how come Nigeria is unable to have enough fuel that the people can use? How come there is so much fuel scarcity in Nigeria? Ask yourself that. Go to countries around the world, like in the Middle East, right? That their main source of income is oil and gas. You will never hear them have this oil scarcity or gas scarcity. Go to Qatar. Qatar is a very small country with less than a million national. But Qatar is well developed. The revenue they collect from gas alone is enough to fix the country. And you will never hear them worry about gas scarcity. Go to Saudi Arabia. Saudi is one of the biggest oil producers in the world. And you will never hear Saudi complain about oil scarcity. Go to China. China is the most populated country in the world. They have used their population to become the world's factory. 9 out of every 10 things you use is being manufactured in China. China has taken just 30 to 40 years to develop their country into something you cannot believe. If you've been to China, you can understand what I'm saying. Though China is considered as a third world, but they are far, far more than most first world countries. They have very large roads. They have very good infrastructure. They have 24/7 electricity. Come to Nigeria. Like I mentioned before, they are the fifth crude oil producer in the world and the first in Africa. But yet still, they can hardly ever had enough oil for the whole country. The electricity is like on and off. No constant water, no good road, nothing. My brothers and sisters, this is terrible. And do you know what I think? I personally think that this is all done on purpose. That a few people in Nigeria have decided to make the country in this way. Because remember, there is this saying that if you want to control a mouse, first you starve it for days and then you give it a little food. That mouse is willing to do whatever you ask it to do. That is the same principle they are applying in Nigeria. Let the people go hungry. Let them go without any good roads. Let them have blackouts all over. And then let we give them some fuel to fuel their keke and their generator, and see how obedient they become. That's the same thing they are doing. It's really poor that things like this are happening. And do you know how much a few Nigerians have got? Some few Nigerians are super rich. Some few Nigerians are so successful. But they have decided to make sure that their wealth stay only amongst them and it doesn't trickle down to the common man in the street. This is really, really bad. This is really, really bad. So let's hope that the Nigerian Central Bank extend the date for this banknote exchange, because a lot of people do not use the banks for their savings. They have their money with them at home. And so they will need time to move out from the villages into the cities to have these banknotes change. And by the way, why they rush? Why are they pressuring people to have this note change before the election? So to you guys out there, what do you think about this fuel scarcity in Nigeria? Is there a way forward out of this? Because I know we have been crying about fuel scarcity like forever. So do you guys kind of see a green light at the end of the tunnel? Let us know in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And please, do not forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this YouTube channel, because little bit of goodwill like the one you are doing just now is going to help us a lot, and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.